the most common bowel disease. And the most common bowel disease is medically called ulcerative colitis. When we say ulcerative colitis, it's simply inflammation and irritation of the inner lining of the colon and rectum. So the colon forms the last part of the gastrointestinal tract. Okay, so when there's inflammation as a result of, based on research, they're not too sure, our immune system unfortunately may attack the bacteria that live naturally in the colon. And I believe if there is a toxicity and problems with the colon health, definitely there could be toxicity, and I believe that it's opinion that this could activate the overdrive or lead to overdrive of the immune system to attack the colon and the rectum, which leads to irritation and constant inflammation. Now, what are the symptoms of ulcerative colitis? That's the most common bowel disease. Number one, or initial bowel disease, initial bowel syndrome, or the initial symptom is diarrhea. But the diarrhea that comes with blood, and it comes with mucus and pus. Okay, and diarrhea that happens during the day, but especially it can also happen at night. It's called nocturnal diarrhea. Now, because in that individual is losing blood, it could happen that the person may be anemic. So anemia is also another symptom. So because the body will need to build new red blood cell using iron for you to have the energy. In doing so, the person becomes very weak and fatigued and feeling tired all the time, or feeling like sick all the time. There are some individuals that may have abdominal pain and cramps, so they are given painkillers for this problem, and immunosuppressants, and they're also given steroids, which is only to suppress the problem but wouldn't cure it. But when you go to the next symptom, the person may be losing weight because people in that condition normally wouldn't have appetite to eat, or they eat less, and with time they tend to lose weight. They may experience fever or elevated temperature. There's also a condition of dehydration because the colon is swollen or inflamed. It cannot dehydrate that food in at that stage. Normally the colon's key role is to dehydrate or remove the water from the food, because water is very important, or fluid is very important for the body. Unfortunately, if the colon is not working because of inflammation, it can't do this job, and there is diarrhea without blood in the stool. There is also urgent need for the person to open their bowels, but normally when they go and sit to try to open their bowels, sometimes they may get something, but even when they feel like they have finished opening their bowels, they still have the feeling that they still need to open their bowels, but they cannot get it. So that is very, very typical. That is feeling incomplete bowel movement. That's quite typical. The other symptoms when the disease advances, it affects the joints, so there's arthritis of the hip or the knee, and also it affects the eyes, so there's itching of the eye or inflammation or red eyes. It can also affect the skin, so there could be some bumps or rashes or ulcers, especially on the front part of the leg. So that is also that. It can even lead to liver cancer because it affects the what they call the bilateral ducts, or the ducts that connect the gallbladder to the liver. It's within and outside. It can also be affected, and it affects how the liver should function. All right. So if this is not treated well, it can lead, after a few years, the person is screened for colorectal cancer, which after 5-6 years it could happen. And some complications I've mentioned could cause perforation or holes in the colon and connect to other the surrounding organ or the intestines, it can in fact lead to sepsis. That is the content of the colon getting into the blood and your body overreacting. Of course, the immune system overreacting because of infection. It can cause what they call toxic megacolon. That is, the colon become bigger, and that can lead to a real problem with sepsis as well. And in fact, at some point, they can even remove the whole colon or partially, which can lead to a pouch, we call it J pouch, connected to the abdomen for individuals to pass stool into it. So these are some of the complications that a person may have when they have ulcerative colitis. That's the most common bowel disease in the world. You may have this problem or not, or any other chronic problem. One phone call away and your life will never be the same. Reach me on the calling outside the UK is +44 738 464 7300. If you're calling within the UK, is 0738 464 7300. If you want to learn more about my videos, visit me on my YouTube channel. Put in Dr. James Natural Link, Dr. James Natural Link, and you go there. When you listen to that, subscribe and share the videos there. Be a blessing to somebody, and God will bless you. Thank you so much for